Hello. Okay, so I've been called continuously, and when I say called, it's called, guided. I want people to understand because I have received many messages of concern with the divination that I choose to follow. But something that I want to explain to everybody is that we have multiple religions. Absolutely, respectfully, it's absolutely beautiful. Each and every single one of us follow various religions, and we are allowed to. We're allowed to believe in certain things, and we're allowed to follow these beliefs because it's what we've known in our lives and it's what we've learned. But there are also other practices which many also follow, and that would be called spirituality. Now, spirituality and religion are sometimes misidentified, and I don't want to get too much into that topic, but to give you a little bit more of a clearer understanding and picture of what it is that has transpired in my life, it's not just over the past 7 years. This has been something that I have unconsciously been able to do since I was small. Now, there are terms such as manifestation. Manifestation can also be something called a goal setting. So, to give you an idea, when I danced, when I was much younger and I was competing, every single night before I slept, I would lay in bed and I would close my eyes and I would envision myself dancing. I would dance the steps to perfection in my mind's eye. Now, many, again, different beliefs and each to their own. But what I'm trying to portray and the message I'm trying to have people understand is that we've all been so separated with all of our beliefs, and we've made it as though what one believes in is the only belief, and other beliefs are not founded. So anyways, to go back to envisioning myself dancing, some would say your mind's eye, some would believe your third eye, and it's just many words that we've been gifted with to understand. But we also need to respectfully know that as much as there are so many different beliefs, religions, cultures, the diversity in the world is just absolutely phenomenal, and it's a gift. It's truly a gift. Every single book that's been written has been written for us to learn and to understand better. So I don't want to digress, but I guess this needs to come out. But I just want you to understand that what I'm speaking of is universal. And when I speak, I am not particular about a religion, a belief, a culture, an understanding. It's an inner standing. And you can portray what I say in your own regard, without judgment, detaching from your ego, and allowing to truly hear what's being spoken. Because I have chosen this path, and it's the most incredible experience that I have ever embarked on. Now, to go back to envisioning myself dancing, I would be able to envision myself perfectly executing the steps, and I would be able to walk away with gold or first. Now, I would also get myself into a mindset of focus and clarity, almost a meditation, prayer, stillness. So, with that being said, this has been a part of me since I can remember, and more so evident as life has unfolded and as I've grown. Now, I am on this video to share what has transpired in my life, particularly over the past, I'd say I'm going to speak more so over the past couple of months. And it's been a really crazy ride, but something that is not in my control. And again, different beliefs, different cultures, different religions, different whatever you may think. But there is one Almighty God. And we are not in control of many of the aspects of this life. But when I say I'm deeply connected, I am deeply connected to myself. And when I say that, I also mean to the Almighty and to my spirit guides. When I say spirit guides, passed over loved ones, it is beings of light, angels. When I speak of frequency and energy and vibration, we have energy all around us. We are energetic beings. If you rub your hair on a balloon, it creates static. That's energy. So this misconstrued concept that people have aligned with is separating science from religion. And it's all one. And when you come to realize this, oh my gosh, it's just, I've got so much to share with you and I don't even know where to begin. But I don't want to be all over the place. Okay, concentrate. Okay. Anyways, we are these energetic beings. And with that being said, our frequency is different. So you could be vibrating at a low frequency, and that frequency, when I say vibrating at a low frequency, you are a little bit like down. You feel heavy. You feel tired, drained. That's low frequency. High frequency is full of life, energetic, happy. Love is the prevalent part of why we are here to live. When you vibrate in a frequency of love. You are vibrating at the highest frequency. And when you're vibrating at a high frequency, you are able to connect more so with divinity, with God, with your spirit guides, with the angelic realm. And it can be, some people have commented that it's a dangerous path to follow. Absolutely, because there is dark energies. So I mentioned light beings. There are dark beings, as those that walk on this earth too. It's how you protect yourself. So if you have somebody who's going to be a complete and utter terrible person, would you continue to be around that person, or would you protect yourself from them? Again, it's the same. Apply. Rule of thumb. That you would ensure that you are protecting your energy from anything other than light and God. So, there's so much to share. And this is the first time I'm sitting, and I'm going to be making more of these videos. But I want to get back to my point about what has unfolded, so that you can truly understand and conceptualize what a miracle it is to live here. Now that I've explained a little bit about your third eye manifesting, mind's eye, visualization, and I've touched a little bit on energy, frequency, vibration. I've touched a little bit on religion, culture. And with that being said, up until this point, I have been leading from my heart space. And when I said, when you lead with love, you are vibrating at the highest frequency. And when I lead from my heart space, I am guided. I have been guided to document the past couple of years. I cannot explain how it happens. I explained to my mom, it's almost like an out-of-body experience. I'll pick up my phone and I'll just make the video. I will just take a photo. I'm not sure why I'm taking the photo. At the time, I'm taking the photo of the environment, what I'm doing, where I am, who I'm with. Everything I've done has been with purpose, not just because. So, with that being said, I've been sharing these documentations, and it's been the most beautiful thing to witness unfold, because as I document, I'm not sure as to why I'm documenting what I'm documenting. Then a little bit later, I realize, or I'm told, to put it together and share it. So this right now is going to be documented, and I'm not sharing it immediately. I'm being called to document it now, and I will be told when to share it. So just so you know, this is not real time. But the past couple of weeks, I've been through the most intense period of my life thus far. And I've had some pretty intense periods. Now, to give you an idea and a picture of what that looks like, I have been physically assaulted. I have had to move in 2 hours, give or take. I have had to have physical examinations done. I have had to be at the police station. I have had to homeschool Mason, who's finishing grade 1. I have had to settle us. I have had to conduct myself professionally, and I have had to appear in high court. That all happened in a period of 2 weeks. And it's been the most profound, I want to use the right word, witnessing of growth, because I've been bullied, not just in the past couple of weeks, but almost continuously in life. And because I've always chosen love, because I've always chosen to live from my heart space, many would believe that I am a soft individual, human being, without realizing the amount of pain I've endured and transmuted into power. So as these things have unfolded, because I am at the end of the day a human being and I do feel these things, it does take an effect on you. But I've been able to incorporate my practices, again, I use that word, practices being dancing, singing, playing, doing yoga, taking a walk, reading, creating. I've been able to take everything that I've learned and integrate it into this very, very intense, short period of time that I've experienced. And it's been the most humble just journey thus far. And to give you an idea, I was physically assaulted and I left with 3 suitcases to a safe house where I spent 2 evenings with my son. And then, so on Monday I left, and Monday and Tuesday night I was at a safe house. On Wednesday, I had to make a decision if I wanted to have a protection order or not. And because I operate from a space of love, I had the individual arrested, but I couldn't go through with doing a protection order. And I chose to go to a temple on the Wednesday to be in high frequencies and vibrations, surround myself with celebration and life. And on the Thursday, what happened on the Thursday? My brain farts. On the Thursday, I went to a casting audition, and I sat in a room filled with individuals, men, women, and I walked through the passage, and there were three men standing, and I greeted them. I said, "Hi, how are you?" They were so taken aback, and they looked at me and smiled, and they said, "Wow, nobody does that anymore. Nobody just greets you. We're all just bypassing one another. We're in this world where we just pass one another without acknowledgement. And if somebody smiles at you, you get like, oh, why are you smiling at me? What do you want?" Instead of just an act of kindness. So after everything that I'd been through in those 3 days, I was still choosing love. And to go back one step, on the Wednesday, I received a letter from my ex-husband to explain that he has put in an application to the High Court based on urgency to remove Mason from my care because I am not stable and I'm not providing a stable environment for my son. And the past 7 years, I have been put under such financial strain that I've had to move as much as I've moved because the cost of living has increased. And I ran my own businesses. I had 3 or 4 running at the same time at one stage while raising Mason alone and financially supporting him alone. Every time we moved into beautiful properties with beautiful individuals surrounding us with love. And I had to take this application quite seriously and spend and exert energy on trying to state that I am probably the most stable, clear-minded, strong-willed, and strong mindset individual that one would come across. And I received this letter on the Wednesday after choosing to go to a temple. And I received this letter and I have a meeting scheduled for a couple of minutes. I attend the meeting professionally. I just went back a day. And on the Thursday, or on the Wednesday, I decide to come to my parents, my mom and my dad, who have always supported myself and Mason through life. And I had to isolate myself from my parents for a period of time, from my family, because I was told to. And I move our things, well, the 3 bags that we had, from the safe house on the Wednesday evening. And on the Thursday, I go to a casting and an audition. And on the Friday, I basically have 2 hours to move everything out of the house. Dealing with the application set forth against me, I move everything and I witness the person that I thought cared for me and loved me be arrested. And we had to set up a bedroom for Mason in a few hours. And I had to school him so he doesn't fall behind on his schoolwork. So all of this happened from Monday to Saturday, and I'm completely and utterly shattered and exhausted at this stage because I haven't stopped. For 7 years of this little boy having his life, I have not given up one bit. I have always pushed to become a better person, to become a better mother, and to just thrive. So on the Sunday, I can't even remember what happened because it's literally all transpired so quickly. And this video is probably so much longer than I wanted it to be. But I just need to document and share exactly what has unfolded. So I am vulnerable, sharing with whoever chooses to resonate with my story, because my story is going to help someone out there be a better person, a better mother, and strive to work on themselves. So I have been sent many people to protect us, to support us, and to love us through every single storm we've been in. And the storms that we've been in have been created majority of the time by my ex-husband. And through all of this, having 2 people that you had a relationship with treat you untoward every single evening and every chance I had during the day, I would close my eyes, I would put my hands in prayer, and I would pray. I would send them love, not just them, but every human going through pain. I would send them love, and I would ask for God to give them all the love He had. While I was hurting and while I felt the pain, I sent and shared love. So we are now on Tuesday. And the past couple of days have truly just honestly been a bit of a blur. But during all of it, I still chose to pray, to meditate, to protect myself, ask for guidance, send love, be love. And I guess what I'm trying to get to to wrap this message up is we've become so separated as human beings. We've all been through something, somewhere along the line, regardless of who you are. You can be the president of a country. You can be a celebrity, an actor, a singer, a musician. You could be a poet. You could be a petrol attendant. You could be a school teacher. Regardless of your stature, your profession, you have been through something in life. And you've chosen how to behave, how to come out of those things. We always strive to be a better person through what we've endured in life. But where I'm getting to right now is that we've become so separated. There's so much evil. There's so much pain. There's so much suffering. There is so much judgment. There is so much. I go back to the religion. And I use the word separation. When we are all one, regardless of what you've been through, and regardless of what you've done, good or bad. And it never is good, it's never bad, it just is. You've chosen these things in your life. And what I ask in this message is for love. If you can start living from your heart space, even if you feel like you can't love, even if you feel like you can't be loved, I truly, truly ask you to choose love in any situation that comes forward in your life. Because when you choose love, you'll be surrounded by it. And when you choose love, you will be your authentic self. In a video, a message that I made a while ago, I spoke about children having unconditional love before the things happen to them in life, before the things happen to us. There's unconditional love. Animals have unconditional love. Why is it that we've lost that unconditional love? So if this message truly speaks to your heart and you understand, it doesn't matter. Everybody's story is different. There's no story worse or better than anyone's. It's your story. This is my story. I'm choosing to share my story, my vulnerability, because I want to be able to share my voice. I want to be able to share love. And through everything, the past couple of weeks, I've still chosen to share posts every day, positive quotes, just to help others who are going through anything, to make them feel seen, to make them feel uplifted, to share a light of love, regardless of what was going on. I still showed up, because I showed up for myself. And by showing up for myself, I showed up for others. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we are not separate. And something I learned is that if you take off just a 0.0009999% of the top layer, we're all the same. We have the same veins. Not the same, but energetically, it's energy. We are one. So, if anything, choose love. When you feel like saying something terrible, choose love. When you feel like doing something that you shouldn't, choose love. When you feel like judging, choose love. Because if we can all choose love, we will see everything around us change. And it's a ripple effect. So put aside cultures, religions, spirituality, science, beliefs. Love is universal, and love is within all of us. So I guess that's what I wanted to share with you. And I hope that you understand that you are here to be given love. You are here to give love. You are here to embody love. You are here for love. So I'm gonna go now, because I don't even know how long this video is, because I had to turn the phone around and put the flash on because it was super dark. But I always send you love from my heart, and I hope that you got something out of this very long video. Okay, I love you, and bye.